Hi guys, welcome back to episode of DB Task, and today's episode I'll be showing guys Shariot Toyota Pixis. So let's dive straight to this video right. Alright then, so here is guys the Toyota Pixis from Shariot itself. So basically I'll be running through with you guys the damages for this vehicle that's any before I show you guys the trunk space as well as the in the driver zone itself. So let me just start off with the exterior damages for this vehicle there's any, starting off with the driver side itself. So yeah, basically driver side, as of what I inspected upon my first inspection, there's no obvious damage to the vehicle other than maybe this rims here just slightly dirty itself. Other than that, the rear still looks okay because they just been introduced to the fleet earlier this year, so damages might vary itself according to the age of the vehicle itself. But moving along to the rear of the vehicle, this is how it looks like. No obvious damage other than it being extremely dirty itself. So you can see the bottom part of the bumper is a bit dirty from all the grime that it picked up itself. Other than that, right at the bottom of the bumper, you just got your brake light, reverse light, as well as your indicators itself. So yeah, you also got a rear wiper for this van itself. I can't remember whether the Honda M van comes with it, but if it does, that is great. But moving along to the passenger side, there's no obvious damage to the vehicle other than the same thing which I mentioned earlier on, which is the vehicle is extremely dirty itself. So I do apologize for that. Moving along to the front, right now, no obvious damage other than the vehicle at the front being the bottom part being the most dirtiest itself. So yeah, windscreen also there's no obvious windscreen chip, which is a good thing for this vehicle itself. And that let me just jump to the hauling capacity for the Toyota Pixis itself. Plus at the same time, I'll be sharing you guys my observation that I noticed between the Pixis and the N van itself, which Shariot has in their fleet itself. So starting with the cargo capacity itself, there are 3 ways you can open up the vehicle itself, same for the N van itself. But one thing, wait, let me just show you guys how to open up. So basically just pull on that and it will open up itself. Same goes for the other side for the van itself. But as you notice, few seconds ago, the doors open up automatically. Sorry, not automatically, electronically. So it's not by the conventional method where you have to pull open the door by holding the door at the same time itself. Technically, you could do that by turning off the electronic door function via the driver control area right here, sir. If let's say you do not want the doors opening up electronically, you could actually do that manually itself. So yeah, but moving to the rear itself, unfortunately the rear you gotta do it by yourself because it's not electronic operated. So that's one thing. But do know that there's the hydraulic struts that once you unleash the latch itself, you have this force that will push you back itself. So do watch out for that itself. But once in the rear, this is how much space you have for the vehicle itself. If I could find the dimension of the vehicle itself inside, I'll probably put on screen right now. If not, I'll just put on the basic trunk capacity for this van itself. But other than that, first thing I noticed from in terms wise of hauling capacity wise, first thing I definitely noticed is for the N van, so basically, if you guys didn't know, technically if this wasn't registered as a goods vehicle, you could actually opt for rear seat in the vehicle itself, which in that case you could actually technically carry 4 persons. Same goes for the N van as well. But since this is registered as a goods vehicle, so the rear seat had to be removed. But once being at okay, talking about this current state where the Pixis is, one thing I noticed is, let me just go to the side which is easier to reference my point which I'm trying to state. So basically the Pixis, if you guys notice, there's this gap right here, then there's this raise of elevation right here itself, which the M van doesn't have. There's a good and there's a bad side to it in my opinion itself. The good thing is at least you sleep when you want to sit at the back, you're not really sitting on the vehicle's floor right here itself. There's a somewhat small slight elevation raise itself. But one thing is it does it into the height of the vehicle itself. If let's say you want to transport taller item, one problem is because of the Pixis, this thing right here itself, you might not be able to carry that tall of an item into the vehicle itself. Unlike the N van where it doesn't have this, you might be able to put in, you might have a little bit more room itself. So that's one good thing about the N van itself. So yeah, let me just talk about some other things that doesn't come with the N van itself, which for the Pixis it does have. Weirdly enough, it has this strap or clip right here, which I have no idea what it does. But once it buckle up, this is how it looks like. I'm guessing you could actually adjust the whatever you want to put here. You could actually adjust the strap right here on either side, so that you could technically hold it in. If let's say you're carrying stuff, you want to put at the side right here itself, and you got something in the middle itself. So yeah, moving along, to close the N van itself, one thing, sorry, not the N van, to close the Pixis itself, one thing the N van doesn't come with is this strap which you could pull on to close the rear of the vehicle itself. So technically, if you want, you can grab either part, any part of the vehicle to close it, or you could actually pull on this strap and you can close it itself. So yeah, to close that down, just very simple, just like that, and it will close. Now next up, let me just step right into the vehicle itself. So yeah, basically once you're inside, this is basically, okay, sorry, this is what you're being greeted with. You have rear windows, and the latch is also similar to the M van, where you could actually, if you want some ventilation in, you could actually just pull this out, push this out, then you just lock it in just like that. So basically just like that, and you got some sort of ventilation coming into the vehicle itself. Once done, you can just do it the other way around, close it in and lock it in just like that, and you should, technically the windows, this small space should be closed itself. Alright, to close the doors on the inside, you can just press on this and you'll close. Alright, so basically once you're inside, if let's say this does come with the rear seating itself, you could actually grab hold onto the handles right here on either side of the van, and it'll be quite good. And it also does come with one at the front for the front passenger itself. Unfortunately, the driver doesn't come with it, which is the downside. But other than that, you do get some storage pocket right here if you want to put your stuff behind the front passenger. You also do come with cup holders right here if you want to put your drinks. But other than that, there isn't really much storage space in the rear of the Pixis itself. Most of the stuff is all allocated towards the front of the vehicle itself, so you got more storage space right there on the dashboard as well on the side of the vehicle, which I'll show you guys in momentarily itself. So yeah, oh yeah, and last but not least, you got this light right here which can be turned on with the switch right here, one side to on, all the way for when the doors are open, or in the center if you want to turn off itself. If I was setting for the doors and I open the door itself, this is how it looks like itself. So yeah, basically that's that for the rear itself. Now let me just jump to the front of the Pixis itself, which I can show you guys more in depth about it. Close it, just do it the other way around. So yeah, before I step right into the Pixis itself, let me just show you guys the outside of the vehicle itself. So basically outside the vehicle itself, if it does come with the key, you have the option of actually locking it manually itself. If let's say the keyless function doesn't work, you actually could insert the key in. If you do have the key, you can just press this itself and you will lock the vehicle itself. So yeah, you don't really have to press the key fob to lock the vehicle itself. Alright, let's jump. Let me just show you guys the front of the vehicle right now. So this is how it looked like for the front of the Pixis itself. The layout to me is very similar to the N van, where you got most of the stuff. You can put your stuff right here, and maybe right here itself, some at the door bin right here. But one thing the Pixis doesn't have, which the N van I feel is slightly better in, is there's a hook in the center where you can hook your stuff in the center. Plus, I want to say there is slightly more storage space in the Pixis, in the M van compared to the Pixis itself. Plus, another thing, if you notice for the Pixis itself, is its wheel well is right here itself. So there isn't really much space to move your leg around for the driver's side as well as the passenger side. So if you want more leg space at the bottom right there, I think best go with the N van itself. So yeah, all right, let me just talk about the controls you get for the vehicle itself. So starting out with controls right here, basically these are your basic controls for your AC. Got directional airflow right here, temperature right here if you want to adjust, fan speed control, the recirculation function for the vehicle, need to turn on and turn off AC. You got a front, this is either a front or rear defroster, and you got a 12-volt socket outlet right at the bottom itself. So yeah, moving along, in your gear selector right here with the respective gears. You also got your drive, your sports mode, and your B function, which is the regen function, which to me it looks still, I have no idea how does it work on the Pixis yet, so I probably got to spend more time driving this vehicle to fully understand how it works. Moving along, you got your steering wheel right here with no buttons at all to press on it. Most of your controls are either at the side right here, or your stalks right here, or on the gates itself. Oh yeah, before I show you other buttons itself, you got the main storage space for your vehicle is basically just right here itself, and you got towing line right here. If let's say the vehicle breaks down, you could actually tow it itself. So yeah, I think that you got another very narrow storage space right here if you want to put your stuff. But other than that, that's basically it for the controls for the Pixis. I mean the storage space for the Pixis itself. Alright, let me just get back to the wheel itself. So the wheel itself, you got your wiper control switch right here itself. This outer knob to control the rear wiper, so you can just twist it to turn on and turn off. Main one just all the way up or all the way down itself. Sorry, all the way down or all the way up itself. So that's that. And to wash the front windscreen, I just need to pull back and it will spray the fluid, and you're able to wash your windscreen, the front windscreen itself. Alright, moving along to the other side, you got your headlight knob right here. High beam just need to push forward. Deactivate high beam, push back. Flash of high beam just push back, and your flash of high beam itself. Indicators just down or up, and it will indicate itself. One thing you gotta note is this indicator is not like your typical indicators where it go all the way up and stay up. This is very similar to the BMW indicators where you just let's say you want to turn left, you just go signal up and you will show the indicators, but it won't show here that you have technically indicator. If you want to cancel, just down one time and it will cancel itself. So yeah, alright, moving along, you got various controls right here. So basically you got your engine start stop button right here. This is to open the rear door, which I showed you guys earlier on. All your various buttons right here. Front collision assist, front collision system, traction control, auto stop start, and your parking sensors right here, as well as your headlight dimming button right here itself. So yeah, and that's basically that. Very simple, and to be honest, very easy to use lah. So let's move on to the last part, which is you got your two window switches for the driver side and the passenger side, and this prevents people from rolling down the windows, which in this case is a bit unnecessary because you only can control the two mirrors itself. Unless you do not like your passenger and you do not want them to roll down the windows, then sure, you can activate that function itself. Moving along, you got your folding mirrors button right here, and your adjusting mirror knob right here on either side itself. Alright, last but not least, you just got a sun visor right here, which you can fold down. If I could even do so itself, which is a bit stiff, but you do come with a mirror right here. And thankfully this also can be swiveled out to block the sun coming from the left or the right hand side itself. So yeah, and same like the M van itself, if I remember correctly, it also does have a small partial shelf at the top itself, which if you want to, you could technically put some stuff on it itself. So yeah, and last but not least, you just got your light switch here, which turn on when the doors are open itself, or you can turn on manually or turn off manually itself. So yeah, last but not least, you got your, to adjust the steering wheel itself, is this lever right here if I can find it. If not, there's no lever at all itself, which is shocking itself. So it doesn't have a lever itself, which is a downside. But if you want to adjust the angle of the seat, you could do so by pulling on this button, and you could actually recline your seat nearly 180 degrees down itself. And once done, you just pull on that and just go back up itself. Or technically, if I could do so, let me see. Yeah, this, if you want to, this is how far forward the seat could incline itself or recline to its original position right here itself. Alright, last but not least, you got this small spring right here, which I'll be turning on to show you guys. So basically, one press for accessory power, now press to turn on that button, and you got all your, basically to be honest, there's nothing really showing here itself other than that small screen right there itself, which you could adjust by pressing this knob right here itself. You got trip A and trip B, average fuel consumption, mount to empty I'm guessing, then you got temperature outside and your timing the vehicle stop start for, and last but not least, oh yeah, that I'm not too sure what's that. And that's why you got your trip odometer, which the vehicle is running at the moment itself. So yeah, and that's basically that for the vehicle itself. If you guys enjoy the video itself, do click on the subscribe button down right below to see more videos like this, or click subscribe and click on see my 2 other videos. And with that, I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.